Chapter 1. Beginning at the end. I was back on Clevely Mere, and my God, was autumn upon us. The lake is slowing down now, despite the weather looking absolutely perfect. Last week I had a 29 pound common, and I'm still nicking the odd bite out the margins, but nothing is getting caught from the open water. I have one more night ahead of me, but if I'm honest, I just can't see it happening. Tomorrow I'm going to Simon Scott's fish farm to watch him harvest his carp, but in the meantime my mission is, as always, to catch that big old common named Chester. Right, well, it's time to go home. I've just reeled in. The wind is still blasting down that other end. Forgot to mention this, but that is the aftermath of a supermoon from not last night, the night before. It's a full moon, 15 degrees, rain, drizzle, you name it, in November. And the lake has fished as bad as I've seen it fish so far. So, as always, Simon Scott was an absolute legend. He showed me around his fish farm and really went into a lot of detail about what his very hectic day-to-day life entails, and more importantly, why he does it. He absolutely loves it, and it's hard to come away from his place not feeling both optimistic about carp fishing's future and not wanting to get the rods out, which is exactly what I did. The air pressure is down at 978, which is incredibly low, and I was expecting fish to be coming out all over the place, but still I sit here and wonder what's going on. It's getting more and more autumnal as time goes on, and with the activity that I'm seeing every week, I just can't help but think that at least once before winter there's going to be a big flurry of bites to be had. We'll hang it out, grin and bear it, and never know, might have 10 this session. After a couple of days without action, I decided to go for a good look round the lake. It was raining heavy, but I just needed to stretch my legs. And luckily, on one of the spots that I'd been baiting for weeks, I managed to find some fish feeding. Some of them looked big, some of them looked small, but one thing's for sure, I needed to get a rod in position. Just a matter of hours later, I managed to catch one.
Is it?
No. Looks like what I'd imagine you to look at.
It's not a good fish.
So basically I managed to land one of the two fish that I really wanted to catch when I came back. So, you know, there was a mirror I wanted called Cluster, which is the one I caught yesterday. It's a fish that I did fish for. It used to be in a different lake and I did fish for it in there. 99% sure I lost it once, I think I lost it twice. And I never thought I'd catch it, you know. And to have caught it, I am truly, truly buzzing. And that's job done as far as I'm concerned. After the weekend, I got a call from one of my mates who had just got back into carp fishing. As I've turned up, he's playing a fish. You know, I was like, blimey, you playing one? And his reply to me was some sort of gibberish, I couldn't really understand it, but he was pointing over to his other two rods, and 30 yards away from him, there's his other rod in absolute meltdown. So I've picked that rod up. I've then played that fish for a little while. Once the fish has got nearer the net, I passed the rod to my missus, who has then played the fish like an absolute pro. I've netted the fish for my mate, so he's then got two in the net. He's took the rod off my missus and landed that one as well. Wonderful old fish called Lumpy, one of the old characters of the lake, shall we say. Beautiful fish, very cool, quite plump. So that then meant he had three in the net. And we started to do the pictures. My other friends turned up as well. We were going out for the day. So my godson has arrived basically with with my best friend. He's turned up. So the baby was there, you know, touching the fish. The girls were there playing with the horses. It was really, really cool. We had one of those lovely moments you don't often get in fishing. You know, normally it's quite a lonely old sport and you're on your own, but we had a little group of us, including the little ones. So that was really cool. And the fish were all absolute crackers. I'm back on Clevely Mere. At times like this, when bites are hard to come by, you have to use things that you can 100% rely on. And these little rigs are just that. Still to this day, I haven't lost a fish. And those beautiful little hook baits you see attached, affectionately known as Earl's Pearls, they've caught me so many carp. So at least that was two things I didn't have to worry about. I knew my rigs and my hook baits were bang on. Why would I leave a pair of trainers and a receiver on the floor like that? Well, over here, I have a little surprise. Hang on, bear with me a second. Ta-da! Caught one. All the opportunities I was seeing or finding were all in the edge. This hadn't changed. And lo and behold, on another walk round into one of the bays I'd been baiting, I found some fish feeding. And one of them in particular was absolutely having it. I could just tell by the way he was moving. If I was to get a bite, it was going to be him. And sure enough, that's the one I caught. A lovely fish, 27.5 pound, and a right result. The water's absolutely freezing. There's less and less bites all the time. So I'm really pleased to be catching still. Hopefully, it'll carry on a little bit longer. But it's, yeah, the chance is going to get more and more thin now. But for now, I've got a fish and I'm buzzing. It was -5 degrees in the night, which means winter is definitely knocking at the door. I'll give it a few more hours, but with frost like this, I really don't hold much hope. Chapter 2. A very dry Christmas. Winter has well and truly arrived. It's gone down to -11 during some nights, and a lot of the lakes now have lids on. There's absolutely no doubt that fishing in the winter can be grueling. It can be tough, but it can also be fun. And a few visits from your mates, plenty of bacon sandwiches, and the odd visit from an exotic parrot is plenty to keep me occupied. I never fish much over Christmas, preferring to spend time with my family and my friends. Luckily for me, I do have a few friends that are into their fishing, and of course, we managed to get out and wet a line. The highlight of all this, undoubtedly, was taking my mate Steve's boy Stanley fishing, and we caught one too, which both I and he very much enjoyed. A few sessions later, and with only one fish to show for myself, the weather really was giving me a beating. I've woken up and the lake's frozen over, which is just great, isn't it? It's exactly what I wanted to happen. Hopefully I'll find somewhere else to go and do the night. But realistically, I reckon everywhere's frozen. I've spoke to a few people and that seems to be the case. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I won't be staying here. Well, I might stay for a little while. My rods are already out, but I certainly won't be here all night. I know that much. So we'll see. But that's that. Frozen lake, which sort of writes off the rest of my session. Well, I've moved lakes and it's time for a winter social. And this time around, the bite alarms were actually bleeping. I'm at a local reservoir this morning. I've got my mate Dave, Dangerous Dave, you'd have seen him many times. He's holding the camera and we've got big bad Mikey B. But we're all here for a social. And I spent the morning using 3-foot zigs. Caught nothing, switched over to the 6-footers, which is what I was catching them on the sessions I did a couple of years ago, last year, sorry, on here. And I've had 2 bites quite quickly. First one's in the net, and this one is somewhere out here. Come on, in you get. Go and see your mate. Hey. Double trouble. Ugh. I've got a couple of commons. Yeah, a bit bigger, a couple of mid-double commons. Right, there's one thing I did learn last year, to get the rod straight back out. You seem to get little flurries and then they stop. So, 2 in the net, rod's back out. See if we can get another one. Right, well, I tell you what, old Bridger, it might take him the best part of an hour to land fish this size, but he's just unhooked. I've never hooked a fish as deep as this one was, and I don't think I'd have been able to get it out. But Bridger stuck his old hand up its mouth, and he's done the job. So well done, Michael. But yeah, this is the smallest one of the two and the first one. I will get the other one out now. Oh, the water's cold. Not surprising, to be fair, it's been frozen for weeks. Cool. Go on, mate. Oh, it is chilly. He's not behaving very well at all, this one. Come on, mate. But he's a lovely fish, that's for certain. Absolutely awesome mouth. And he was nailed on all. Not quite as deep as the last one, but it certainly weren't going anywhere. Unlike this one, who's been here, there and everywhere since I picked him up. And now, I'm gonna put him back. No matter what sort of fishing you do in the winter, I would always recommend spending the odd day in search of a few bites. Today, we're off in search of just that. There's one thing you can absolutely guarantee if you go fishing with Michael Bridger. Right, he's not very happy. No, casting the tree again.
Not again.
Okay. What, you going home, are you, mate?
No, mate, I'm a fake.
So it turns out I might have been a little too confident. However, it's one of the easiest lakes I've ever fished, so we had every right to be. I think even the 4-year-old girl on the swim next door outfished us. Today, we've opted for a change of scenery. We're at a park lake not too far from where I work, and it's a venue that I've been telling Dave about for a very long time. He's wanted me to bring here for ages, and I finally have. The lake's full of absolutely beautiful carp, and armed with my super pole, which would suit this venue down to the ground, we were confident of catching a couple. It's amazing how some people can rub off on each other.
Oh no!
And although they've only spent one day together by this point,
Oh no!
Dave had already picked up Mike's bad habits.
Dave, is that in the tree, mate? Is that in the tree?
To be fair to the old boy, even with the disaster of casting up the tree, he got his head back together and the rods back out. And not too long later, he caught our first and only carp of the day.
How about that for a cool fish? That's why you go to Priory Park in the winter. Here's the other side. Dave's a little bit happy with this one.
Despite my main campaign being a bit of a write-off over these dark days, having a few social with the boys has been the perfect distraction. But next time, I'm back to it and I'm going full steam ahead.